Didn't take away from the match at all. And as great as this match was, the match on the Global Impact special after Impact, Kurt Angle versus Yuji Nagata, was just as good. Kurt said on Impact that this was one of the best matches he's had in a long time. That is really hard to argue with. Great, great match. If you missed Global Impact, you really missed something special, I think, because this was a great documentary about American wrestlers in Japan. They had a bunch of TNA stars going overseas to wrestle in the Tokyo Dome in front of 30,000 people. I mean, oh my God. I mean, it gave you tons of awesome insight into the business in Japan. I enjoyed the show a lot. And if you missed it, you really owe it to yourself to catch the replay. And get the DVD when it comes out. They're making a DVD of the whole thing. They're going to have all 6 matches and tons of extra material, bonus material, stuff like that. It's going to be a great, going to be a real must-have for TNA fans and just wrestling fans in general. I think if you're interested in the business or Japanese wrestling, that's going to be a great DVD to get. What I loved most about this thing was that it really showed just how far TNA has come. I mean, when you look at where they are now, I mean, it's hard to believe that TNA's only been in business really for less than 6 years. I mean, you watch the TNA Year 1 DVD, which is awesome. I mean, they started out in this crappy little set, this little rinky-dink operation in Nashville. I mean, just struggling to get crowds to fill out the Asylum, and now they're sending their stars over to main event in the Tokyo Dome. Impact's being moved to the Bravo 1 station in the UK. They're running pay-per-views outside the Impact Zone, running all these live events. They had thousands of people turn out for a house show in Oshawa, Canada. Then they went to Dallas, Texas, and they sold out the House of Blues. And that was awesome for them because Panda Energy representatives were there for the show. And to top it off, if you saw in my titles, Impact drew higher ratings than ECW for the first time ever this week. I mean, how awesome is that? I mean, TNA is on the rise, people. I mean, it's an exciting time to be a TNA fan. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. As for Raw, this past Monday, as far as Raw is concerned, well, what can you really say about it? I mean, once again, Jeff Hardy was the one and only memorable thing about that entire show. I mean, and I've read some really idiotic things about this, with people saying how great that show was. I mean, that is completely asinine. That Jeff Hardy spot to close the show was absolutely insane. Yes, I'm not denying that at all. It was incredible. No one's going to dispute that. But in the end, the only thing it really accomplished was distracting everybody from the much more important fact that the first 2 hours of that show sucked. What else was there on Raw? Well, let's think for a second. Let's think. What else was there on Raw? Well, we had more hornswoggle bullshit with a little turd competing in a midget battle royal. We had a terrible match between Snitsky and Triple H. Oh, and they're going to subject you to Snitsky in high def next week, by the way. I hope you're prepared for that one. We had Triple H destroying the Titantron to set off a lot of stupid fake explosions to make it look more impressive so Triple H could flex his ego a little bit more. We had Vince wasting another $1 million worth of pyro on Bradshaw after he cut another long, boring-ass promo I thought was never going to end. We had recap segment after recap segment after recap segment after recap segment. I mean, do I really need to go on? Do you honestly believe that one sick-ass high spot is worth calling a show like that great? Do you? Really? Please. Impact was so much better than Raw this week, it's not even funny. It's not even a contest, because this show... This show was like coming downstairs on Christmas morning, running into the living room, and under the Christmas tree you see this great big box, okay? Immaculate packing job. It's not wrapped in like newspaper or anything. They used some like really expensive kind of wrapping paper, put a big bow on it with a label with your name. I mean, they really went all out. They went that extra mile, put in a ton of effort, and you think, oh my God, whatever that present is must be fucking amazing. So you run over to it, you pull off the ribbon, you tear off the paper, you open the box, you look inside, and at the bottom of the box is a big steaming pile of shit. And that, my friends, is all the WWE is. Shit in a fancy wrapper. And they can dress it up however they want, but they can't change reality, and they can't hide the truth. It's easy to fall for it, I'll cop to that. It's real easy to get sucked in by it because on the surface it looks absolutely beautiful. But when you tear away that pretty package, when you look a little closer, when you look a little deeper, you see that it is nothing but shit.